Sunday shop, do 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 do. Sunday shop, do 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 do. Sunday shop, do 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 do. Ah, hello, 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 and welcome. Oh, we were at three, now we're at one. Oh, my singing must have scared people off. All the really bad hair that's happening today, and the out of focus camera that's doing weird stuff. To be fair, I can't blame the camera for not wanting to focus on me. Might help if I turn some lights on around here. Usually does. Oh, excuse the crotch shot. There we go. Oh my god, that's worse than I thought it was. Definitely getting on towards time for a barnet trim. Never mind. Oh, we got no one here now. Crotch shot scared everyone away. Oh well. Nothing new there really. My crotch has scared plenty of people in the past. It's normally the backside that does it really. Hey, evening Scully, how you doing? Hope all is well. And my lovely little Marit, how are you, my dear? Mwah. Happy Mother's Day, darling. And Mr. Dennis, hello, hello. Listen very carefully, as you said this only once. At some point, someone else is going to twig that joke, Dennis. So, hope everyone is well and safe and all good stuffs. Oh, Marit. You promised you weren't going to catch it. Oh dear. That just means you're even hotter than usual, though, doesn't it? So never mind. Anyway, so what's been going on around Casa del Sharpe this week? I know you tried your best. When you're surrounded by diseased individuals, it's a bit hard not to. And lovely Patty, how are you, my dear? You're going to be flitting about. Oh, I was hoping you'd be flirting about, really. That's more my scene. But anyway, so what's been going on? Not a lot, as you might guess. It tends to be a fairly recurrent theme around here. Not a lot happening. We have had some interesting things happening in the fishy room, including a whole bunch of notifications for things I've already watched. Oh, Dennis has started watching it again on Amazon Prime. You stupid woman. Yes. If you've not seen that TV series, watch it. Hello, hello. Very, very funny. As you probably see, we have Breedery Box back again. Yeah, we've got another 150 bristle noses. And in the Flexi Fish Farm over there, the Bluebell Flex, the one that you can't keep bristle noses in because it's too small for a single bristle nose. Well, we've got another batch of Super Reds in there as well. They're in the cave still. They're due to come out the cave on Wednesday. Seriously need a haircut. And you may notice some slight gappage. Well, we gave away 15 of the Platinum Lyotale Mollies this afternoon to the LFS. Mainly because I need the tank, not because I was being nice. But we also sold 50 Super Reds, 25 long fin, 25 standard fin, and yeah, that came to a bit more than I was expecting. So, yay! I can afford food for the next couple of weeks. Hey, I will get this out of the way and say it. So, happy birthday, Adam! Happy 21st. That's to Mary's son, Adam, who is 21 to yesterday. Makes me feel old, even though I'm not actually his dad. tank space for 3 days. Yeah, that's pretty much it, Marek. Well, maybe a month, unless someone else decides to breed in the meantime. So yes, and yeah, so Adam's 21st, and happy Mother's Day to all the ladies, whether you be mummies or not. Evening, Brennan. I hope all is well with you, sir. And while we were selling fishies, the plan was to film at East Harling Church, do a little video there, but let's just say my bowels haven't been in the best of health today, so I decided it was probably safer not to spend another 20 minutes, half an hour filming a video around the church and then driving home. So I might not make it. So I shall have to come up with a ghosty story type video for the back end of this week. This week's videos seem to have gone quite well. The species proof. This week I did the species profile in the Corys. Yeah, I think it was. And then the wander around St Martin's Church, Rowden, the ruin of, and a silly short in the middle of the week on Wednesday of the version of the model by Kraftwerk, substituting Akaras for models, really, which, you know, let's be honest, Akaras are normally nicer to look at than most models. Yeah, all three of them went relatively well, I thought. Oh, well, if you need to sleep, Marek, go to sleep. Don't stay up on my account. Much as I enjoy having you here, if you need to sleep, you sleep. But yeah, as you may have noticed, if you're not Euro or Brit-based, yeah, our clocks changed last night, which caused a bit of confusion for me this morning because for once my body decided to sleep in, which means I didn't wake up until 20 to 9. So yeah, bit of a late start, but hey, got there in the end. Night, Marek, sleep well and feel better in the morning. Mwah. Get well, kissy. Yeah, that's about all really that all of note I've been up to. I mean, I went to the Heritage Society on Tuesday as usual, but I'm pretty sure none of you want to hear about a couple of hours mostly spent sitting talking to old people over tea and cake about random things or local history. I mean, they're old, but they can't remember as far back as I want to go with the history. So if they could remember the 1400s, that'd be superb. But, you know, not everyone's as old as Aquafunk. Yeah, so what else has been occurring? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Got on, I did some chores, tidied up the front garden, made a bit of a start on the back garden, filmed a video of the pond. This body still hasn't figured out daylight. Yeah, don't worry. I'll either sleep like a log tonight and wake up late again tomorrow, or I'll wake up at like 4 in the morning and wonder why is it still dark? Why am I awake and it's pitch black? And it's nearly April. Yeah. So it's even worse when you haven't got a sort of time routine to be in. If you've got to get up for work or something, then yeah, you get a couple of days of and then it all sorts itself out. If you haven't got that, then yeah, it just messes you up somewhat for a while. completely pointlessly. Also, the kiddies don't have to go home from school in the middle of winter in the dark. Which would probably do them good. Because let's be honest, as soon as they leave school and get a job, they're going to be coming home in the dark anyway, so you might as well get used to it younger. Either that or going to work in the dark. That's the weirder one. Going to work and it's dark and I shouldn't be up this early. No, my body is not meant to function this time in the morning. Yeah. It's weird. I'm not a morning person, but my body wakes me up early. I'm not a nighttime person, but sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. Dee Dee, my dear, how are you? Hope all is well with you. Happy Mother's Day. At some point it'll be Father's Day and I'll remember to say Happy Father's Day to all the dads as well. So it's not me being sexist. G'day, Mark. Willkommen. Bienvenue. All that good stuff. Watch out for bunyips. Oh. I won't be surprised if I get some baby ocellated cribs soon either, because they've been chasing the limia off. Oh, Matt, howdy doody, Matt. So late. Yeah, don't worry about timekeeping. Jeez. I don't hold anyone to, you must be here. Why weren't you here on time? Oh, I'm so hurt. We have life. Other people put videos out or stream. And, you know, Bex is nicer to look at and listen to than I am. So, yeah, I don't blame you. Me, grumpy. I'm just grumpy as a natural mindset. It's the age. I'm English, and it's the age. I mean, watch out for ghosts in the graveyards. Yeah, the thing is, Mark, I go there looking for them. That's kind of what I want to do. I want to find them. I'm not sure who's got the larger bust at the moment, but yeah, Bex is definitely prettier. So yeah, we did have a quick wander around East Harling Churchyard, but didn't feel anything today. I didn't mention it in the video from Rowden, but that church ruin is haunted. Again, not negative, nothing bad. Just we were aware we were being watched from someone up a tower. Well, if you've seen the video and you saw the tower, there weren't no one up there. And also felt the presence as well, a lot closer. And yo to S, yo, 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 yo. A yo, that's when you get a yo-yo and you fling it down and it just stays at the bottom and doesn't come back up. And not when it's doing the sleeper or walking the dog and just spinning around on the end of the string before you flick it and it comes back. Yeah, so you see yo-yo when I was a child. The tower wasn't in Texas. Well, no. I've been told to stay away from towers in Texas, though. Generally, I would stay away from Texas anyway because it's hot and there's lots of bitey, poisonous animals there and wildlife. Oh no, you broke your grumpy cup. I think I've got a grumpy one. I got a man cave mug. I've got one with pictures of Zach all over it, but I haven't got any. I've got a Mr. Perfect one for some bizarre reason Mary got me. I'm definitely not perfect. Hello, Debbie. Exactly, Mark. This is why I've not been to Australia. When the general rule is with the wildlife, if you can touch it, don't, because it's probably got poisonous spines or something. If you can't touch it, it's because it's faster than you and it's going to chase you and kill you anyway. So, you know. And when the safest animal you have carries syphilis, or is it herpes? No, it's chlamydia, isn't it? Yeah, when the safest animal is a drop bed that's got chlamydia, then yeah. All joking aside, I really don't like heat, so you know. And you don't want to see me in a pair of budgie smugglers either. It's really a bad idea. Yeah. So you even got bloody venomous marsupials. I say you're safer with the bunyip and the yowie. I know the most dangerous animals we have, other than dogs or cats, are going to be wasps, bees, and adders. Monotremes, yes. Even in some the mad mower. I just had to say that, and he knows exactly who's talking to him. I actually thought about you earlier this week, Tom. I really did. Because I was cutting my grass. I had my headphones on. Puffins are terrible. Frateris articulata. No, puffins aren't scary. Hello, Sandy. Welcome aboard. Yes, I know the Latin name for a puffin. And baby puffins are called pufflings. That's about all I know. They eat sand eels. Apparently, they taste good as well, but I've never had it. Yeah, so English wildlife is dangerous enough for me. I'll leave the more exotic stuff. Up to 1,000. What, 1,000 bristle noses? I was getting there. I sold 50 this morning. No, at the moment, with the 50 I sold, we're up to about 800, Brennan. So there's 150 in that breeder box. There's 100 in that tank down the bottom. There's 50 in there. 150 in there, 100 in there, 150 in there. And there's another cave with another batch of super reds that's going to be another 100. So, yeah. But yeah, I will say it. I went into the LFS, like I say, this afternoon, with 25 super reds and 25 longfin super reds. And I came out with no fish and £162.50 in my pocket. So, yes. Kind of brings things. Oh, right. Yeah, these are worth breeding. So that's, yeah, roughly about $200, which is basically a week's wages. It's not far off. So yeah, as I did give them 15 or so of the mollies just to clear a few out. I kind of felt a bit bad charging for them because I'm not breeding them to sell. They bred, and I've got a bunch of them, and not got anything that eats the adults. I've got plenty that eats the babies. I mean, that dwarf Neil rainbow fish in there, he has a good munch. And one of them gave birth yesterday or last night. So there were 20 or 30 baby mollies in there earlier, maybe even more, maybe 40 or 50. Yeah, there's none left now. Lucky bastard, not able to do that around here. Expect to give them free or damn near free. Yeah, generally is the case around here as well. Most places you'll get some kind of store credit, but because now I'm basically a supplier, and during the pandemic with the lockdowns and all that kind of stuff going on, delays in shipping and places weren't getting new stock in, because obviously the pet shops were still open because a pet shop is a necessary place to have open to buy pet food and supplies and things. But as I say, because live shipments weren't coming in, they were running low on things, and I had them. We kind of came to a bit of a deal, so they buy my fish and shrimp from me. And as I said, they're bigger and healthier than the ones they get from the wholesaler, and they don't get 20% die off. If they're unlucky, a couple of them might kick the bucket or get eaten, as they did the first time I took the ram's horn snails in, and some silly person put them in the same tank as the assassin snails and then wondered where all their snails had gone. Yeah, that kind of thing happens, but it's even got to the point now where I fill in my own paperwork. They just sign it. It's pretty good. Yeah, I might have to have a word with them. Good, sketchy evening, Pam, my dear. I'm not avoiding you, my darling. I really am not avoiding you. It's just sleep-wise, I tend to fall asleep later now, so I wake up later and I miss you in the mornings. Do I know of Maidenhead? Maidenhead will give you store credit usually, Debbie. That's what I find anyway with Maidenhead. So most places, because of the way the laws are in the UK and various different counties have their own livestock sales laws. Well, not even counties, as parishes or areas. So I'm in Breckland, and my LFS is also in Breckland, and the one in Watton is in Breckland, but the one in Diss, which is actually closer, is in South Norfolk. So they legally can't buy my fish unless I have a pet shop license. And then it has to go all through the books properly with VAT and everything. So yeah, they just take, and obviously Maidenhead is in Norwich, so it's Norwich County Council or Norwich Council. So yes, different rules for different areas. So I got lucky in where I live. But yeah, most places will take them in as store credit. Don't expect much. I mean, it all depends what you got. If you've got shrimp, you might get £1 each credit. If it's things like guppies or mollies, you might get 10p. And that is it. And then certain things they just don't take because, and the hell I had trying to, I say Jess, myself, and Finns has found this as well. Trying to move on crebensis is a nightmare. I mean, they're gorgeous fish. They go great in almost any kind of community sort of general tank that most people would have. But they lose all their colour in the store. So people see them and it's just like a silvery grey fish with a black stripe down the middle. And within half an hour of putting them in a happy, friendly, a nice tank that they like, they fully colour up like crazy. But, and oh no, Y-Rock, Cos-Rock. That's why. Evening E-Rock, which is what I'm going to call you from now on, because it's easier. And yeah, it's weird. It's like councils and governments want to make it harder for people to get together and actually work in a local area. It's like, well, yeah, you could do this, but what we can do is we can put this law in, which means you can't do it. So they had to order their stock in from Slovakia or Serbia or Singapore or Thailand or whatever, but they're not allowed to buy from just down the road. What? And yeah, I totally get the animal welfare kind of thing, and keeping animals in suitable conditions, but we're talking fish here. We're not talking puppy farms or cat farms or anything like that. We're talking, and I know we all love our fish and they're all very special, but we're not talking about something that costs £200 or £300 or upwards. Talking about, especially something like guppies, isn't it? £250 each. Whatever the colour, fin type, or flavour, guppies are less than £3. It doesn't matter how much you inbreed them. Yeah, so they basically what they do is they make it easier for the places to get them from abroad than it is to order local ones that will be stronger, healthier, used to the local water parameters. Yeah. So kind of those laws, or rules, laws, whatever you want to call them, bylaws, need a bit of a rejigging to kind of sort things out. Because even if it was just in your county, you can sell to shops, or you can sell your fish in your county. Now I've got probably half a dozen shops that I could quite easily supply that I know would buy my fish, but they can't unless I spend a whole lot of money getting a pet shop license. Yeah. It's just daft. It's when people who make the rules, make the laws, aren't people who are actually involved in what they're making the laws about. Yeah. And the thing is, the LFS I do supply is part of a small chain. I think there's like 4 or 5 of them across the south of England. So I could sell them to my local shop, and they could then ship them to another one of their shops, and that'd be fine. But I can't go to that other shop and sell them. The exact same thing. Yeah. Living dumb people. Man has to get his cut. But yeah, the man would get his cut, Mark. That's the thing, is if I was selling enough that I could afford to do it as a full-time job, I am a fish breeder and YouTuber, this is my job, then I would be self-employed. I would go through all the stuff and be a self-employed small business, as it were. And then, yeah, I would pay my taxes and my national insurance. I'd probably not earn enough to pay tax, to be honest. I think it's 13,750 before you pay tax, but yeah, I'd have to pay national insurance. And yeah, I'm not fussed. I'll do it above board and legal. Oh, and heck, I got my blooming US tax return forms through this week. I mean, they're basically blank. I didn't earn enough to even bother getting on the system. from YouTube. Because I'm foreign, and I have no idea why they sent me tax returns. It's literally just the thing that says my name and address on, then a bunch of zeros. Huh? Yeah, hence the license fees. Yeah, but it's the license fees and laws are putting people off from being able to do something they enjoy and supporting themselves with it. And then the money's in the local economy, and the local economy gets stronger. And if all the local economies get stronger because they're self-sufficient, then the national economy gets stronger. Yeah, funny that. But yeah, as you say, the rich don't get their bit of it. There's been all sorts of squat this week with our not deputy, what's he called? Chancellor of the Exchequer, Mr. Rishi Sunak, who apparently couldn't figure out how to work a chip and pin card. Because, that rich has never had to stoop to that kind of thing before. Yeah. And the person in charge of your economy has no idea how people actually live. Doesn't work. Yeah, government and logic don't mix. No, it's all about who can make the most money out of the poor. Basically, whichever country you live in, doesn't matter if you're American, Australian, English, French, German, Spanish, Norwegian, Lithuanian, Botswanan. Yeah, it's all about getting the rich richer and keeping the poor down. They long for the time when you had the landed aristocracy and gentry and the serfs who worked the land. Yeah. Communism, great idea, but it's never going to work because people are greedy. Everyone wants more than the other person's got. But let's avoid politics, because otherwise I'll get onto that and that'll be a real rant. I'll probably lose about 1,600 subscribers. Yeah. I have weird politics. I have weird religions. So I keep them to myself. Actually, have I upset anyone this week? The Aussie government ain't known for my financial responsibility. Well, no. Not quite as bad as the New Zealand government was post-World War II, when they decided they would foot the entire bill for a battle cruiser. And then went, oh, that's how much they cost? Uh-oh. Yeah, that didn't go well. I think they might have just finished paying it off. HMS New Zealand. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone who's built anything other than an aircraft carrier or destroyer or submarine since World War II needs a head checking. Which is a shame because battleships and cruisers are awesome machines. Okay, they're built for one reason, which is to kill other ships and people, but mechanically and technologically, amazingly awesome things. If you're a geek and you enjoy that kind of stuff. If you just see a big floaty thing, then yeah, don't worry about it. It'd be interesting if cruise missiles hadn't been invented. Just what size guns would be on battleships these days? Oh, God. Yeah, you shudder to think. Basically, well, I mean, even by World War II, they were firing shells that were heavier than family cars are. So, evening, Scotty. How you diddling? So, yeah, that's about it. Just trying to think if I've got anything else I wanted to talk about. As usual, well planned and highly professional live stream, complete with random leaf floating about in fish tank. Oh well. I get pulled out when I do the water change on Tuesday. Maybe Wednesday, depending how I feel. It depends what happens with the guts. So, here we go. Has anyone got any questions? Bear in mind it's me, so yeah, don't hold back. And no, I've not converted to Hinduism. I was spot in the middle of my forehead before anyone asks that, because I know someone would. And it is like perfectly centralized and in perfect place for a Hindu's, whatever it called. So one thing I did wonder was whether doing audiobooks would be a good idea. Probably not, but it was a thought I had. Oh no, it's that Ricky DeHurst person again. Oh, there goes the neighbourhood. Evening, Ricky. Hope you're well. Peace. No, it is me saying there goes the neighbourhood. If anyone around here is, yeah, it's me. Oh no. Bonsoir, Monsieur Eduardo. Oh, don't worry about it's not tardiness. You have this thing called a life, other things to do and people to see and stuff like that. I don't hold anyone to, you must be here at 6 p.m. GMT. I'm just glad people turn up. It'd be the worst stream ever if it's just me sat there waffling to myself for 2 hours. Yeah, the thing is, Brennan, you've got the voice for it. I probably don't have the voice for doing audiobooks. I would have to be so conscious about not dropping letters and there you go, letters, and things like that, and getting the pronunciations correct and not farting, burping, or swearing partway through. I don't kind of think that would do well in a audiobook. Yeah, you just see it. Thus issued forth from the pit of darkness, the god of hellfire and damnation, and yeah, it's not going to work. Plus, it's a case of finding things that aren't actually still under copyright. So if you start reading audiobooks of things that are still copyrighted, I'm not entirely sure how that stands. Sweeney Bot. Oh, Sweeney Todd, yeah. Oh, pardon me. If I was going to do something, I'd probably start out with maybe H.P. Lovecraft or Edgar Allan Poe, Robert Bloch, that kind of thing, or M.R. James, and just to make sure it's well out of copyright. because it's weird because you are taking copyrighted material, but you are making it available for the deaf, basically, or the blind, let's say, not the deaf. Audiobook for the deaf. Duh. So yeah, I'm not sure how that would work. I'm pretty sure if you start with books that are 100 years old or more, then you're probably safe. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Something that would have to be looked into, I think. The last thing you want to do is sit there and read an entire book for several hours. I could not see me doing Poe without an editorial. See, the thing is, I can read that kind of stuff perfectly fine. It's not a problem. It's the more modern stuff I struggle with because it's easy, so I pay less attention. Well, heck, I was reading Poe and Lovecraft when I was at primary school. So, no, all my schoolmates were still reading like Jack and Jill or Famous Five and the Secret Seven, and I'd already moved on to H.P. Lovecraft. Probably gonna have to ask every author before reading the books, get some permission. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And a lot of it would depend on the individual authors. And their estates. And no, if I did it, I wouldn't have a problem sharing any monies, but there doesn't seem to be an option for. It's like either you get everything or you get nothing. There's no 50-50, which I think would be a lot fairer, as it were. Okay, the original artist then gets their money, but the person who's done their work gets theirs as well. Mark was reading Biggles. Yeah, I used to read Biggles as well. And Mufter's here. Evening, John. Hello, Aquatic Fan. Yeah, that is definitely one area of various laws that needs looking at is copyright law, because it's so out of date and so much of a grey area. And yeah, well, it's fair use. Well, what exactly is fair use? Because you can get a copyright hit for using like 10 seconds of, we all know Jason got the copyright hit for using Jolene, playing about 10 seconds of it at most. And then you'll see another channel and they're playing the entirety of the song and it's okay. What? It's some of the music reaction channels. You'll get somewhere it'll be a reaction that's 6 minutes long to a 5-minute song, and the first minute is yeah, yo, yo, Patreon, subscribe, watch the song. Yeah, that's cool. Subscribe, Patreon. Later. Really? Oh, and you're complaining why you're getting your royalties or your videos blocked, or you're not getting the money from them. Yeah. And then you get the ones who take the song and dissect it and go through exactly what's happening, time changes, key changes, vocal techniques, and they get the money. Oh, geez, Sabaton's album was released earlier this month, and you had Hannes the drummer did a hour and a half or whatever interview on Tank the Text channel, and Joachim the singer did the similar one on the Charismatic Voice. So it's yeah, there's a reason. I think it's the Daily Dog. Yes, I do watch a bit of Doug as well. So is it weird that there's like we go through these streams? I'll mention some random YouTube channel. I'm guaranteed there's someone in the comments who watches it. And I watch a fairly eclectic bunch of channels, let's be honest. And no offense to anyone here, but fishy videos are probably third or fourth on my list of videos that I watch. That's no offense to someone. It's not saying I don't want to watch your content. It's just I do watch it. But there are other things I watch as well. And Mississippi Hippie is here. Hello, my dearie. Happy Mother's Day, in case. Oh, pardon me. Yes. Oh, I have to. I've still got to get a. Is it like a ritual? Yes, it's like a ritual. Thing is, one of these days I'm going to watch that, and I'm not going to say I have. We'll just keep it going. Oh, I missed a bit while shaving again. No, it's just a bit that's not gone grey. Scary part of using a lot of the channel. I watch a lot of YouTube. I'll be honest. I don't watch TV anymore. I can't remember the last time I watched a program on television. There's always something more interesting to watch on YouTube. It's just that simple. Even with the streaming and on demand and blah, 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 a lot of the things I want to watch just aren't on TV. Or if they are, they're a, excuse the French, piss poor version of. You know, watching a ghost hunters show on TV and it's all hype and action and you're like, nah, that's not how you go about it. Right, I'm sure I will. It's just I've got to get around to it. Got to remember what my Amazon Prime password is as well. Oops. Yeah, that was the other thing with the old Xbox dying and getting the new Xbox. Yeah, I've still not put Amazon Prime back on it yet because I can't remember what the bloody password was, and I don't want to go changing it and then be stuffed on my Amazon app to download or to buy stuff. I know what I'm like. I'll screw this up somehow. It's very possible. It's hello, Sherry. Mon Sherry, as it were. Yeah, we all have. Everyone has their niche of interest, things they're interested in, what people they follow, subjects, whatever. And okay, pretty much all of us here are tied together because we keep fish. We enjoy fishies and shrimplies and snailies and wet pets in general. But we also all have other interests as well. So yeah, there are people we're going to literally share more in common with, more interests in common with than others. Now I do have a fairly wide base of interests, and they get quite random. But yeah, we're gonna. It's just a surprise when it's something, as I say, not. Yeah, I mean, the Daily Doug isn't quite too surprising. But when you start talking about like morticians' channels and you know, like yeah, like Ask a Mortician or, for example, Mr. Borland or Drakinafel or completely different subject matters, but it's amazing how many people actually watch them. Technically pronounced Sherry, but Sherry is just easier. Well, there we go. I shall try and remember to call you Sherry from now on. Then I do like to try and get people's names right, if I can. Then I've got too many interests to keep up with them all. Yeah, exactly. And that is the thing, when you've got a bunch of interests, if you're relying on TV, there might be 1 or 2 shows a week that actually cover that interest. If you're watching YouTube, there could be 200 or 300 videos released that week that cover it. And that's without digging deep. Okay, yeah, she is good. Not exactly hard on the eye either. No. Oh, hello, Zach. I saw you. Yes, I did. I saw you moving down there. Doesn't matter now, of course. Well, I like to get these things right if I can. Even English and American and whatever, those kind of names are usually pretty easy. I do sometimes have to practice like the Eastern European names a bit, or the Russian names. And those kind of not necessarily Cyrillic languages, but yeah, that end of the language spectrum. Might have to practice some of them a bit to get it right, but I'll give it a go. At least try and get close. Then I've watched a lot of European football, European motorsports, Indian cricket, these kind of things over the years. So it gives me a bit of an advantage on it. And yes, TV's dead pretty much. I mean, on demand is kind of cool, but if it's on demand, but there's still nothing you want to watch. Was it Springsteen who sang the song with 57 channels and nothing on? And it's, yeah, okay, we've got hundreds of channels to choose from, yeah, but they're all showing repeats or absolute dross that I have no interest in whatsoever. I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. The Voice, X Factor. People fail to realise that accents play a 49% role in pronunciation. Well, my accent's messed up, so I'm absolutely awful at trying to do foreign accents. It just goes wrong. I might get a couple of words or a phrase roughly kind of right, and then it either ends up being Indian or Welsh, or South African, or a combination of those three, and then it goes really wrong really fast. So I just don't bother. It's hard enough trying to do this accent, to be honest. Yeah, so if you got the different combinations of letters, or even the same combination of letters, can be pronounced differently in different languages. So it's kind of then having a basic understanding of that language, as it were. But even between English and American English, there are differences in pronunciations. So we do have to make allowances for these things. I've had, yeah, with Sherry, yeah, with a draw. I mean, I've had people ask why I've named my channel after a breed of dog. I'm like, what? No, Sharpe, not Sharpe. Or why you called yourself after a pen? No. No, I'm pretty sure that my family has been around longer than that pen company has. And no, I have checked. And if you search for Sharpie markers, I don't turn up on the videos. Ooh, itchy luggo. Yes. I trimmed my ear hair and now the stubble is itching. Not that you wanted to know, but you know, it's a thing when you get to a certain age and the hair decides to migrate to more interesting places. It's not fun. You get it when you either got the bush coming out of your ear, or you trim it all back and then you lay down, you've got stubble digging into the inside of your ear, or you get that one long nose hair that just curls around and just keeps tickling the inside of your nose until you get really hacked off with it and you manage to grab it and go. Yeah. Easiest to go with sherry, yes. I suppose it's not really been an issue for me, because I have had people get my name wrong because for some reason they put an accent on the E at the end of Sharpe, and they're like, no. Or think it's pronounced Sharpie, because I call myself Sharpie because it's my nickname, because school, as Mark will know, because I'm guaranteeing you weren't called Mark or Stolson at school. It was probably Marco or Sterlo. Much the same way, Clarky, Sharpie, and whatever ones there were. Can't remember. Fat boy. Gay boy. And yes, we used to shout. We just used to call each other by those nicknames. It was easier. You get 2 or 3 people in the same class and you all got the same name. Yeah, you just go by the nickname. Even the teachers did it. Which was quite amusing, because the 2 Johns in my class, a lot of the names. Yeah, well, it's Oz. I know the C word gets used instead of friend or buddy or mate. Mate is normally when you're upset with someone. The Z word is right, yeah. But that's the same over here as well. Sometimes forget and shout something really offensive at a friend across the street. I haven't seen him for a few years now. Had a Malaysian friend, Wei Seng Chong, and this is back when I had the big old goatee beard and long hair and what have you. So he used to call me a suicide bomber. So I decided I was going to start calling him either Chairman Mao or Communist. So this is a joke. It was all good between friends, not a problem. So we started shouting at each other across the high street. And I'm walking along and I hear, "Are you suicide bomber? You communist!" Yeah, the look on people's faces was priceless. But nicknames are there just to make life easier. But as I say, I do prefer to try and get people's names correct if I can. These things happen. No, Shelley Dwellies, you can't eat ash. Are we going to have to feed you again? Is that it? Are you all hunting for food? Oh dear. Should we feed the shell dwellers? What do you reckon? Does that sound a good idea? Nom 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 nom, as they all go chasing after the food. Let's watch some Shellies eating, shall we? I think I might have even cleaned the glass a bit. Yeah, see all the different sizes. the little baby ones. Go this way a bit. And so yeah, they don't just stay at the bottom of the tank. They do go all over. But yeah, that is the Hikari first bites. I feed them. Generally, if I've not got any baby brine shrimp ready to go, because it's not far off the size of brine shrimp, and they do love it. As you can see, doing all the everyone is out and about, scooting about, finding food. Sherry Berry, Busy Bumblebee. Oh, yeah. People don't call me anything like that. I never had a sweet or nice nickname. They've always been offensive. It's either Sharpe, Wookie, or Chewy, or something that begins with C or effing C. And completely irrelevant to that. Good evening, Jess, my dear. How are you? Miss Mays tells Fern Fins of the Aquatic Morning Show for those who want to be in the know. And yes, it's too short to have lives, so they would have been longer. I mean, Sharpie's longer than Sharpe. They're all longer than John, so it's just what rolls off the tongue. We can't all have long names like Jessica. Which gets Jess or Jessie. Never gets shortened to Sicker though, does it? Which kind of makes. Yeah, I probably would. That's better. Nicotine is always useful. Have we got anything else we can look at? Anything else interesting going on other than Molly's pooping and we've all seen bristle noses and Malaysian trumpet snails and cloudy tanks. No, not ammonia cloudy. That is just bacterial. It's what happens when you have that many bristle noses in that small of a tank and you clean out the filters twice a week. You get the odd bacterial bloom. There's nothing to worry about. Got tested the water, it's come back 0 for ammonia and nitrite. So Ricky is the same nickname as my British and one Aussie mate who give me hake. Yeah, it's it gets used as a term of endearment, which I find hilarious because people are still super offended by that word. They've obviously not worked. I mean, if you've worked around lorry drivers or forklift drivers, yeah, exactly. Term of endearment. It's when an Aussie starts calling you a mate, you got a problem. It's normally, oi, mate, just with an Australian accent. It all depends on who you're talking to, how you use it. Mind you saying that a lot of my mates over the years have used it in a pretty negative way, but that's just the way it is. These days, a lot of nicknames and whatever is seen as bullying or that's name calling. Actually, that's something I've been watching a bit of lately. Is like entitled people reaction type videos, and there was one where a mother had named her child Andrew, And she was complaining to the school, and that she was going to have to report it to the school district board or whatever, because the kids were calling her son Andy, and she didn't like that. His name is Andrew. And the teacher's like, well, he introduces himself as Andy. G'day, mate. It's when you can't remember the name. Yeah. Yeah, mate, buddy, dude, all those kind of things. It's when the brain is going, oh crap, what are they called? What are they called? What are they called? Uh-oh. Although I've had people keep getting my name wrong when I've been at work and like wearing a name tag with my name on. There was one guy kept calling me Mark, and I'm like, why do you call me Mark? And he goes, that's your name, innit? Oh, I've got a name tag that says John. Oh, it was kind of amusing. So his name was Dave, so I started calling Albert. It kind of became a thing. Lucky you went known as Randy Andy. Yeah, or Handy Andy. Actually, that's our prince, isn't it? Oops. Yeah, kind of looked like a mark. A skid mark, perhaps. And I'll leave you to figure out whether that's on a road from a tyre or in a pair of underpants from a Sharpe. Maybe he was working with the Secret Service. No, he weren't working with the Secret Service. Definitely not. And he wouldn't be upset with me saying that either. I would say he's fairly normal for Norfolk. Let's put it that way. I was saying in Spanish, you don't. If people don't mess with you in a good way, or they don't call you some kind of insult, then they don't like you. Exactly, it is. It's. I think it is a male thing rather than a female thing. I don't see it happening too often with girls and women. But yeah, it's just the way us blokes are. It's a way to test the water, as it were. You insult someone, if they don't get upset and they insult you back, and then yeah, your mates. It's that's how you know when that particular line has been crossed. Like, all right, we're mates. I can call him that, and he won't get upset with me. Well, that does remind me of an amusing time once when at work. I was referring to a younger lad as Four Eyes because he wore glasses, and he went and complained to the manager that I was calling him Four Eyes. Yeah, the manager pointed out I was being ironic. It's like, no, he's not being offensive. He wears glasses himself all the time. He's just passing it on. Oh, geez, when I was at school, the garbage barrel kids were around, so Johnny Fart Pants was the thing. Hey, I'm called John. I fart a lot, so yeah, you know where that went. Um, yeah, it's just it's a. I think it is a peculiarly male thing most of the time, though. The insulting your friends but being polite to people you don't like. Probably why men and women get their wires crossed sometimes, especially in social media settings. where you can't necessarily read intent through the words, and some people don't read that carefully. Yeah, anyway, random weirdness. And we've got any other questions or combo starters? We'll try and work out what videos are going next week. Tomorrow will either be a quick wander around the pond. It's not impressive. Everything was hiding. Or a species profile on the limias or the skiffias. Then I've got to figure something out for Friday. Some don't read at all. Yeah, I know that. Yeah. So yes, Fridays is going to be the one where I'm going to have to come up with a video. It was going to be the exterior tour of East Harling Church, but we didn't get that done. So yes, I'll have to figure something out during the week. So it'll likely be a ghosty story type one, or more haunted places in Norfolk. Or perhaps there is something I've been running through in my head, which is more of a, not a tutorial, but more of a guide or something like that on how to deal with ghosts or being somewhere haunted, rather than the freak out and everything. But anyway, I'll let you think on that. I'm sure someone will come up with a question, because I've got to nip to the little boy's room. I'll go and drain the vein. Wrestle the gator. Better. That's much better. 2 minutes of dead air. Oh, what? No questions? Or was everyone just seeing if they could hear me going, no, the walls aren't quite that thin. Scotty here. Hello. Mr. Alien Volcovatics. Good to see you, sir. And yeah. Sorry, having a bit of a brain fart right now. Oh. Hello, Spotty. That's a very clever and gorgeous Pleco right there. I have no idea how many babies he's fathered now. It's a lot. It's in the thousands by now, I would think. But, you know, he's a clever boy. And Fred is getting better. He is learning now to stay in the cave and carry on fanning rather than fan for 5 minutes, come out and have a wander around and see what's going on, then go back and yeah. Oh, pardon me. Oh, that's better. That's relieved some pressure. Oh, there's the rest of it. So yes, videos wise, that's what will be coming this week. It is probably one of the species profiles, to be honest. And then a silly short, probably. And then yeah, I'll think something up for Friday. Probably end up recording it, thinking about it, recording it Friday morning and uploading it straight away. You know, that kind of video. Let's be fair, quite a lot of mine are. There's not a lot goes into it. Even the history ones is a quick Google and find a site that's got the history of the place I'm visiting and make some notes and then just get there, wander around and waffle. It's all very simple. I am going to have to get some business cards made up, as it were, for my Chanel. I just need to come up with some kind of logo. And I'm thinking a bristly nose, just like Spotty is, sat on the side of the tank there. So the bottom view of the bristle nose, but with a sheet over its head, and like two horizontal eyes and a big hole for the mouth. Yes, I know the eyes and mouth are on the opposite sides of the head, but hey, it works better as a visual. So you've got a ghost pleco, as it were. Yeah, I'm actually running out of fish I can actually do species profiles on. I suppose I could always do the Nanacara anomala and the albino cories. I could probably do mollies as well. Maybe black neon tetras, and yeah, I won't do the chopre danios because the state of the last two I've got left don't exactly look good. But you know, 4-year-old danios, they're just old, basically. Ku Klux Pleco. Now I'm thinking more not a pillowcase, a sheet. So imagine like that classic like Pac-Man ghost shape, just with the back end of a pleco sticking out the bottom of it. Although yeah, knowing me, that'd be the kind of thing I'd do, wouldn't it? Accidentally breed black plecos that have got white heads, so they all look like members of the Ku Klux Klan. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that I would actually do, accidentally. Just like, oh bugger. Yeah, I can't sell these because they're racist. Well, I do have quite a few, not orange eye, but yellow eye Neocaridina shrimp now. So, like you get the orange eye Caridinas, apparently it doesn't happen with Neos. No, it doesn't happen. And then you show people a picture and they're like, oh, it does happen then. So, yeah, I've got those. I say it's something I always say. Has anyone got a video that they would like me to make? Is there anything in particular you'd like me to have a waffle about? Just not religion or politics, or how to buy underwear for your better half, or now preferably something that actually fits in with the channel. I suppose the perfect one would be building a model of a ghost fish, but you know. Hey, always up for new ideas. Because I can think up ideas, but you know, a bit of fresh input is always a good thing. And one I have been thinking about is trying to explain hardness, similar to the brown eye. Yeah, that kind of thing, but no, the eyes are yellow rather than brown. Oh, yellowy white. I'm going to build a model or John building a model? There's probably more chance of you building one, Scott, at this point. Oh, you're going to build a model of me building a model. Yeah, that's yeah. That is what was the name of the movie? Oh God. Not Interstellar, begin with I. Someone help. Not Inception, that's it. A model of someone building a model. Easy now, there's Danny Boy. Oh, Danny Boy. The pipe. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Helping some of the human fry make a Mother's Day dinner. Well, that's a perfect excuse to be late in my book. And happy Mother's Day to Mrs. DKF. And let's be honest, you've also been helping them stick macaroni and glitter to pieces of paper to make cards, haven't you, Dan? Be honest. Yes. You'll be glad to know we sold some super red bristlenoses today. So we've cleared 50 of them out. And we've got another 100 in the cave at the moment, another 150 commons in that breeder box, but you know, we got rid of 50. Hey, you know, these things happen. Literally pay the bills for the next, well, pay the food bills for food and bags bills for a couple of weeks. So the state of the kitchen, that's first task, and I'll deal with the glitter later. Oh, yeah, glitter. No. Ah, Willie, old man, how the devil are you, sir? Bonne chance, mon ami, as they say in London. Well, in Peckham, to be honest. But yeah, so yeah, more bristlies from Norfolk folk, exactly, and no super reddies and longfin super reddies. And yes, I've got quite a bit of money. Like, ooh, it's when the guy in the LFS is like, oh, yeah, they're a bit more expensive than common bristle noses, aren't they? Yes. Yes. Well, your boss told me to bring in 25 of the standards and 25 of the long fins, and that's what you got. And I set the price with him several months ago. So that's what you're paying. Yes. I did give him 15 or so mollies. You know, I just wanted to clear a tank out. Yes, there are still a couple in there, but you know, we can soon lose those because someone in there will eat them. I know it's nasty, it's bad, it's sad, it's horrid, but circle of life. And I'm literally leaving those in there to keep some kind of cycle going. You know, before I dump 150 bristle, blooming throat playing up today. Before I go dumping 150 bristle noses in there, I thought I'd better clear out some of the mollies. There's still 3 or 4 left in the top one as well, I think. Why am I looking that way when the tank's that way? It's because I'm looking at the blooming screen. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, this, mind you, some of them looking pregnant. Oh, great. Yes. Ooh, polar blue cichlids. Sweet. More baby chicklets. Mm. Yeah, they will be tiny. Although, I mean, I've seen quite a few fish fry. I've not seen anything smaller than the shell dwellers yet. They are minute. You literally don't see them until they move. It just looks like a slightly darker speck of sand. Then when they move, then you realise that was eyes that you were looking at. It's just microscopic. I mean, so these bristle noses in this breeder box were born on Wednesday. If I can get the camera close enough to see them, they're already, they look like bristle noses. They're already about 6 to 8 mil long, maybe even a centimetre. Oh, yes. Hello, pregnant Molly. Yes, at some point I will clean the water spots off the tank. There's Spotty. Nom 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 nom. And yes, I have a camera pointing at the tank, so there's the Akaras. Yeah, you guys know what a camera is, don't you? Oh, I wonder whose logo that could be on there. Nom 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 nom. Tiny tadpoles, polar pups. Yeah, I mean, so the thing is, if we look down the back, those eeny meeny, tiny little, so that, oh, there's one over there. That tiny little shelly you can see right at the back there, on that just disappeared. That's like a month old. That's how small those things are after a month's growth. So yeah, it's not quite looking like a shell dweller stage yet. But yeah, most cichlids are teeny tiny babies because they just have bloody hundreds of them at a time. And if you see some of the big dove eyes and what have you, when people have those spawn, and there are literally hundreds, if not 1,000 in each spawn, and you're like, yeah, they're going to be a struggle to sell. So, which is why most people who have those in spawn don't worry about keeping the fry alive, because there's only so many 3-foot cichlids that people are going to buy, and or 2-foot, 3, whatever chonker cichlids. There's only so many of those that people are going to buy, and one spawn is probably enough to keep a country going. So anything sort of a Cara size and smaller is okay. You can get them into most people's tanks, but yeah, there's certain fish that just shouldn't be available for the general public. Things like common plecos, red-tail catfish. Awesome and gorgeous fish, but 99% of people's fish tanks aren't suitable for them. Haven't bought any fish in a while. Happy with baby cribs and baby polars. Yeah. Can't beat baby fish. I'm going to say the only ones I bought recently were the one male Limia perugiae and the trio of Nanacara, which are all hiding up, as they tend to do quite a bit. Austin's here, he's lurking with a chainsaw. Hang on. No, it's okay, he's not hanging out outside. Phew. Yeah. Be careful with the chainsaw. There's enough people around here who, well, me, Sean, Kenny, probably a few others that just shouldn't be allowed anywhere near anything like a chainsaw. And I'm dangerous enough with a normal saw, let alone a powered one. I'm the kind of person that uses a jigsaw to cut a piece of wood that's on the floor or on a couple of bits of 2x4 or something and cuts my toes off or something like that. Hello, Sherry. Welcome aboard, my dear. And a happy Mother's Day. New local versus tree, day number 69. If you've got a chainsaw, you're going to win against the tree. That's just the way it is. Are you starting at the top and gradually reducing the size of the tree, or are you starting at the bottom and just going thud? Yeah. And then you got to get rid of the stump afterwards as well, which is a nightmare. Unless you have access to a stump grinder, which always sounds perverted. Can you come over and grind my stump? It just sounds wrong, doesn't it? Ooh, Sherry got a jacket, very posh. Mary got chocolates in a bra. But, you know, and that wasn't me being perverse. That's kind of what she wanted. So, you know, better to get people what they want rather than trying to figure something out yourself. Although I must be a nightmare to buy for. Yeah, that's like a stump grinder does sound. It either sounds painful or perverse. It's oh, keeping the distance not very well. Oh dear. I hope it's not the C word. There's been a fair bit of that going around lately. Touch wood, I'm still clear somehow. Tree is dying. Cutting branches extend over structure and property line and see what happens. Yeah, I'll say would not let him shop for me alone. Not to be trusted. Yeah, that's something that I found quite strange. Is men that don't know the sizes of their wife or what kind of clothes they like. You know, it's the kind of thing, you know, you pay a bit of attention, maybe even get a bit sneaky and have a look at a few labels. Oh, you're wearing that this week, so that must be the right size. Right, it's a size whatever. I'm not going to size shame anyone. And you go, right, that's the right size to get. Not that it's either hay fever or flu or both together. Well, hay fever is a definite because mine's playing up, hence why my voice is doing weird things. Excess mucus production. And also why I shut the door to keep the pollen out. Yeah. It's generally around about March or September I'm on the antihistamines. And Scott hates Maryland weather. It's supposed to snow on Wednesday, then be 72 on Thursday. Yeah, well, it's been warm, dry, and sunny for the last week and a half here. I've got the old shorties on, got the legs out for the summer. And now, yeah, apparently the sun is going to get cold again, so won't take them. Yeah, that's kind of the problem. Yeah, because especially this time of year, there is a big boost in pollen. Most blokes prefer their women not to wear clothes. Well, there is that, but you do sometimes have to leave the house, Mark. So, and my advice for buying your lady friend underwear, right? Once you figure out the correct sizes, either by just asking or being sneaky, is to find something you like the look of and then dial it back a bit. Just dial it back that bit, because that'll be just fine. If you're thinking quarter cup and sheer, go half cup and lace, or 3/4 cup. Just yeah. Alison, hello. Trust me, going to chat while I'm burping. Well, that kind of happens fairly regularly, Alison. Won't worry about it. And Marit's back. Hopefully, you had a bit of a snooze, or you're watching the F1. At least it's not coming out the other end this week, Alison. That's what we got to say. Mainly because of Darren. Some of the outfits my son wears, I'm like, he's taking the piss. Yeah, clothes-wise, I'm easy. Black jeans or knee-length shorts and a t-shirt, or black socks and boxers is pretty much all I need. Or a baseball cap. But the baseball cap has to be big enough to get over my head, over my enormous dome. Yes. And these things that to me are just kind of obvious and people don't know. Like, how do you not know the size of your wife's feet? How long have you been together? It's very strange. And yes, she was a 32B when you got together 30 years ago. I'm pretty sure she's probably not that size anymore. Yeah. Buy him outfits as he changes the look. Oh, kids are kids, teenagers are teenagers. Have to be themselves and experiment and all that kind of good stuff. Talking about clothes and clothing sizes, Marit, and how men don't seem to know what their women's or their wives, girlfriends' general sizes are or style preferences. Run a super long shift, single days on leave. Ooh, 21. Well, there you go. Mind you, by 21, I had a mortgage. So, as long as your kid has clothes, you're good. Exactly. I'll say is at 21, you're still worried about style and what's fashionable. Get a few years, and it's just, yeah, that'll do. That's comfortable. Oh. Sorry to hear that, Alison. Good to hear you're all better now. All right, back. Time for the first coffee and cig of my life. You mean your life since you woke up this morning, Scott? Yeah, it's time for my first cigarette of the last 10 minutes. And yes, the can of Relentless is empty. I'm still can't understand how I've not had the human ick. So the only thing I can think is I know Christmas 2019, start 2020, I had a nasty, coldy, fluey kind of thing for a couple of weeks, and all I can think is, did I maybe have an alpha strain of it, and it's kind of done, or I don't know. I always tell my kids, find what feels good to wear exactly. There's no point being all stylish and fashionable if you're uncomfortable. That's, you know, for me, it's comfort, practicality, then what it looks like. And I know a black extra large t-shirt is comfortable and practical. I know a pair of knee-length cargo shorts is practical and comfortable. So then I just worry about colours and black. Vinoxky's here, Mr. Fishkoto. Good evening, sir. Sup? Bring on the sun. Well, we've had plenty of nice weather lately down here, so I don't know what it's been like up north, past the wall. But, yeah, it's been lovely and sunny down here lately. And hey, it's 20 to 8, and it's only just going dark, so I'm quite happy with that. Brain has spring fever, but body and wallet disagree. my wallet always disagrees with that, and my body pretty much. My body really doesn't like hot weather. What does fresh air feel like? It feels like stale air, but it doesn't smell of farts and stale sweat. It's about, or in my case, fresh air feels like itchy eyes and a snotty nose. So it's been gorgeous. Everyone's mood magically lifted. I'll say it's been like that the last week or so here. Due to change again, apparently, because I've got the shorts on. I haven't even had a haircut. I mean, let's be honest, if I have a haircut, it's going to snow. So, for the sake of the nation, I will not have a haircut. I will take the blow. I'll take it with the team. Out here, knock off time, 40-minute drive home. Enjoy the rest of the stream. Drive safe, Mark, and have a good day. And see you around. Glad to have you. Can't smell anything, got noises from hell coming from my lungs. That kind of sounds like me, Marek, to be honest. New hairstyles I'm getting used to. Yeah, you haven't seen some of the hairstyles I've had, Sherry. It's I've had some very strange ones over the years. Thankfully, no photographic evidence, but I've had it long, short, long on top, shaved on the back and sides, plaited, dyed, all sorts of colours. Yeah. In the end, I just kind of figured out that just hair is just enough. No need for a style. Just have hair. Make the most of it while it's still there, because there ain't a lot of it left on the top. The parting is getting fairly permanent. Boys age me, they do. I've not had kids, but in fact, it was, I'll say, Mary's son Adam's 21st yesterday. It was like, oh, bugger, that makes me feel old. See me looking like I remember a flock of seagulls. I didn't go quite that far, Ricky. So I was into the metal side of things. So the midnight blue braids. At one point, I did have leopard print when I had my hair short. That didn't last long. I didn't like that. It's been blue, it's been green, red, purple, long, short. Sneezing your snoz off. Oh dear. Well, hopefully you get rid of it soon. Mohawk, yeah, I've had mohawk. I did do a ludicrous mohawk once. And yes, we had to use Coke as well to set that because hairspray wasn't doing the job. And it was hairspray, Coke, and super strong gel. My hair was sort of halfway down my back, shaved on the back and sides. So it was just the top that was long, and it was proper punk. Yeah, doctor's appointment is going to heck. Well, you might get over it in time. Tried to dye my hair purple once. After bleaching it blonde, came out violet. Yeah, you do kind of need a, yeah. It can, the blues and the purples can be a bit weird. I found with the blues it was best not to bleach it first. I mean, my hair at the moment is brown, but when I was younger, it was actually black. It's faded over the years as there's more grey getting into it. The good old fashioned flu. Well, I mean, the amount of times you had COVID, Marat, I think we can safely say you're immune to it now, or you should be. Yeah, so I did everything from the punk through goth through full on metalhead, grunge. The one we haven't seen in 2 years, the standard flu. So, I mean, that is one thing I have noticed is that with the various hand washing and wearing a mask and all that, I've not had a cold for 2 years either. Just a standard basic cold. So, yeah, something works. Stuff on top scarpered after leaving the hair decide to fend for itself. Yeah, I'm in pretty much the same boat, Dan. That stuff is, there's not a lot there. But it spent so many years tied back in a ponytail, it grows that way. Kind of like one of my groups at work, particularly who has COVID 2-3 times each. Very COVID friendly. Vitamin D3 and K2 boost the immune system. Yeah. Hubby hoard it from work. Gave it to Chris, and then Chris gave it to Marat. And now Marat's got to find someone to pass it on to. That is the problem with families, is if you all live in the same house and one of you comes down with something, chances are you're all getting it. Because usually by the time you start feeling sick with something, you've already passed it on to everyone. He wore a suit once, especially at McDonald's drive-through. I've been known to wear clothes to go to a McDonald's. But no, I was actually looking back and going through my old bank statements, figuring out which ones I could get rid of. And no, it's kind of interesting to see, A, how much you had, and B, what you spent money on. It was November 2019 was the last time I had a McDonald's. Yeah. And that's probably why I caught whatever I caught the first time. Yeah. Freaking herpes. Yeah, this is the thing. It's more catching than herpes. Although you can actually get rid of COVID. That's the important thing, Sherry. He's a good lad. You brought him up proper. We all do weird stuff, us men. Weird stuff, dumb stuff, all sorts. But yeah, it's, as long as you raise a good person, that's the important thing. And I'm sure everyone here would. Well, except for maybe Matt. Oh, Matt would, yeah. And yeah, natural, just go straight into mum mode. Be nursey mum. So I'm more like you sort that out yourself. I ain't going nowhere near that. I'll get you the bucket to be sick in, but you can sort it from there. You made yourself ill, especially with hangovers. That's kind of, I would do that. And then I'd start hoovering in the morning. It goes with the roll. Once a mum, always a mum. And I say that to Mary when she's like saying no, how the kids are grown up and blah blah. I'm like, they'll always need their mum. No matter what happens, they always want hugs and cuddles. And a carer is susceptible to hospitalisation, so he's keeping away. Yeah, so it's just being nice and doing the right things. As Marit said, the eldest son got COVID, and she was on the way to help do the mum thing, and he locked the door on her. No, I don't want you to have it, basically. But no, I'm not giving it to you. Yeah, which I'm sure you swore about a fair bit, Marit, and were angry and peed off at the time, but it was the right thing to do, and he did it for the right reasons. And I'm sure as soon as he was well again, you are more than welcome to give him a great big hug and chicken soup. Who's that jumping? Who's that jumping and playing silly buggers? Hey, is that one of you two? There's someone playing silly buggers somewhere. Mary takes all the COVID, so the rest of us are spared. Oh, yeah. Yeah, true. Yeah, I got the funny feeling that even if I did, like, message my parents to say I was sick with COVID, they wouldn't do anything. Uh, even if they would have done something, it's going to be quite the drive from the other side of the country. Um, you know, I'm big enough and ugly enough to look after myself. I know what to do when I'm ill with certain things. Yeah. Make sure you get plenty of rest and fluids and vitamins and electrolytes and blah blah blah. If you're sick or flu or cold or something like that. Yeah. If you've got a concussion, the best thing to do is just go have a lay down and sleep. Joke, don't do that. Works for me, but don't do that. Frankie B, good evening, sir. How are you? Been a while. Hope all is well. And shock horror, I did have a bit of a tidy up in the cave the other day, so I can actually get to the bench. Whether I use it is another matter. I can get to it now. Live together, but you're missing him. Oh, bless Sherry. Well, it'll soon be back to normal. He'll soon be well again, and all will be fine. So, actually, Frankie, do you keep fish at all? Again, apologies, but my memory is shocking and I can't remember much. Um, am I ill? I'm always ill. Now, it's just IBS flare up, Marriott. Don't worry. Uh, there's been lots of clenching going on tonight. Don't know why I'm missing because you're missing him talking crap, Sherry. That's what it is. You're used to the sound of the voice and the banter and stuff, so when it's not there, you miss it, even if you don't like it. um, so I've not been actually ill since COVID started, so I've not even had a decent injury in a few years, so I can't even claim that one. Get rid of transport tanks 1900 kilometres. Ooh, ooh, rather you than me, Frankie. Rather you than me. I'd grumble enough about it if I got to move 6 feet. Yeah, one reason I haven't got another rack. We're gonna have to move that bloody shrimp tank. When Dan had COVID, boss said he could work from home. Mrs. DK had decorating. Don't know what you got to do to get a day off. Last night he said, "Mum, I'm hungry. Don't need bowls for cereal, so I'm gonna wash out some bowls." Bowls. I'm guessing you mean bowls, not bowels. Yeah, I can't let them rip Alison tonight. That would be dangerous. Nobody wants to see Sunday Sharpe. Why do they grow so fast? At least you feed them too much, Marriott. Feed them less. They won't grow so quick. It's like fish. If you don't feed your fish much, they don't grow so fast. If you feed them lots, they grow lots. Same with people. Joke. Don't starve your children just because you want to keep them smaller. I think a lot of it is down to the fact that as we get older, time goes quicker. Oh, Sherry's got breeding Danios. And yeah, Dan's correct. Big mugs work for cereal while all the bowls are gone. Yeah. Or saucepans, they also work quite well. They got a really good handle as well. So you just sit there and nom, 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 nom. Yes, I am that person that makes mashed potato in the saucepan and then just leaves it in the saucepan and pours the gravy on the top. Oldest turning 27 in April. Ooh. 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 Ooh, that's, yeah. Yeah, that's got to make you feel old. Sorry, Marriott, but it's bad enough when he turned 21. Yeah, doesn't need encouragement. Yeah, that honey-do list that happens. Eat noodles out of the saucepan, why is a bowl, and then you have to clean it. Exactly. Especially when you're like me, you live on your own and you got to do all the cooking, cleaning, and everything. So why make yourself extra work if you don't have to? Seems kind of pointless. Take it out of one thing to put into another thing. Why? I mean, I am the guy that at one point did use paper plates, so I didn't have to do any washing up. Yes, paper plates and plastic cutlery, because then you just finish your dinner and you throw the plate in the bin. And I would just have my son young, 27, 25, 24, and Chris is turning 16. Ooh. So, usual fist bump to Chris, and for any other human fry. Getting old is great, dying would suck. Oh, I don't know. I'm getting old. I'm not enjoying it much. Things creak and crack a lot more than they used to. when you start making the old men noises, getting out of bed every morning. Oh, oh God, ow, and that's just getting to the sitting up position. Yeah, Chris, the only human fry living at home. Didn't eat noodles out your own boxes and skip all the steps. Yeah, true. Given the IBS, sometimes it does come out looking exactly like it went in. I think my mum was 21 when she had me, which would make her 67 this year. Jeez. Hurry up and die. I want my inheritance so I don't have to work. But speaking of food, I've not eaten anything yet today, so I'm going to have to. And my 2 hours is up, and I believe Brienne is either going next, or I think Rico Stan might be on at the moment as well. So if we go into Brienne, go with the nice hashtag, something like hashtag Happy Mama's Day. If you go out to Rico, then hashtag RicoVerts. Matt was 32, and she had Chris. Sherry was 18. I can't remember being 18. To be fair, I can barely remember being 32. And so we've got 27 and 15. Oh dear. See, I'm kind of lucky in that I don't have kids myself that I know of. If I do, they're going to be over 18 now, so not my responsibility. But anyway, thank you very much, everyone, for showing up. I hope you all had a good time, or at least a bit of fun. Probably laughing at my expense. And yes. So happy Mother's Day, all you lovely ladies. Mwah. And thank you. Have fun. Enjoy your hobbies. Stay safe. Peace out. Rock on. Bye bye. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Ah.